One Piece Chapter 1109 Preview. The Egghead incident takes place. One Piece Chapter 1109 is just around the corner, and this week's chapter might just be the very best when it comes to the events of the Egghead Island arc. While this arc has been nothing short of fascinating, and one that has delivered some of the most incredible moments to the fans, the best is still yet to come, and One Piece Chapter 1109 might just be the icing on the cake for all the fans. Of course, that's not all. This chapter might just be one of the very best in the entire series, and this is a fact that quite a lot of the fans have underestimated. While all the fighting and the action that is currently going on in Egghead is exciting, undoubtedly, there are bigger things that Oda will most likely turn his attention to, starting with One Piece Chapter 1109, and one of them is Vegapunk's announcement to the entire world. This chapter is going to be absolutely massive, and all fans are looking forward to it already. Vegapunk's big announcement, the Egghead incident. One Piece Chapter 1109 is going to focus on Vegapunk's announcement to the whole world. This is going to be the focus of the next chapter, and this announcement is going to be absolutely massive. For those who do not remember, Vegapunk has studied the poneglyphs himself, and this is one of the reasons why the world government is currently after him. Given that the world government has almost succeeded in their goal of eliminating Vegapunk, due to his knowledge of deep history and his continuous research, there is one thing that he can do to foil their plans, and that is to reveal the secrets to the entire world. Towards the end of the last chapter, it felt as if Vegapunk was on track to do just that, and it will most definitely come true in the upcoming One Piece Chapter 1109. Vegapunk knows quite a lot about the world of One Piece and its history, and he is most certainly going to reveal it to everyone. This arc has drawn quite a lot of parallels to O'Hara, which fans saw in the Enies Lobby arc. Back then, Clover and his team were killed before they could reveal anything to the world. This time around, Vegapunk will not be stopped before he reveals important bits of information to the entire world, and the information is going to be absolutely shocking. There are quite a few things that Vegapunk could end up revealing to the world. The very first one is the truth about the ancient kingdom. This is something that people of the One Piece world absolutely need to know. The current world government is a regime that was formed based on the oppression and erasure of a once famous kingdom. They completely erased them from history and filtered all information about them from the books, trying to completely erase them. Vegapunk will most likely make information about them public to the entire world. Of course, it is also possible that Vegapunk might reveal the name of the ancient kingdom as well, something that Clover was not able to reveal previously. Another interesting thing that Vegapunk could reveal to the world is the identity of Nika, which fans know is now officially clear to everyone in the story. Nika is real, which means the opposition to Nika, the world government, which is currently being run by Imu, could also come under focus in the next chapter. Vegapunk's message is going to reveal the entire truth about the world government, the truth about Nika, and potentially even deep secrets about the ancient kingdom itself. These secrets will be transmitted all over the world, and it will shock them to the very core, which is something that fans are incredibly excited about. Luffy vs. Kizaru and Saturn continues. While One Piece Chapter 1109 will most definitely see the exciting reveals finally happen, it will also focus on the combat aspect of things. As fans know already, Luffy vs. Saturn and Kizaru is currently going on in the Fabria phase. This battle will most certainly continue in One Piece Chapter 1109. Sanji, who is tasked with taking Vegapunk to the edge of the island, will most certainly complete his mission, regardless of whether Vegapunk ends up surviving or not. Meanwhile, Luffy is going to attempt to hold off both Saturn and Kizaru at the same time, and he will most likely succeed at doing this. At the same time, fans might even get a glimpse of the rest of the Straw Hat crew, who are currently on the Lava phase. Most importantly, it is necessary for Luffy to deal with the threat in front of him. While it is certainly plausible for Luffy to do all this by himself, One Piece Chapter 1109 could see him take help from the giants, Dory and Broggy, who are currently headed towards him. It shouldn't be a surprise to any fan if Luffy successfully pulls off an incredible victory here. However, if his back is against the wall at any moment, aid would be ready for him, and that is certainly reassuring for all the readers. Regardless of how this turns out, Luffy will certainly be in a winning position, and that is something that fans should be relieved to know. Vegapunk's fate revealed. Finally, One Piece Chapter 1109 will most likely focus on Vegapunk's fate. In the previous chapter, Vegapunk was revealed to be on death's door. He was stabbed by Kizaru right through his gut, and, before that, Saturn dealt him a fatal blow as well. Vegapunk might as well die, however. There is an equal chance that he will survive as well. Even though his heartbeat is slowly falling off, fans might actually end up seeing him living, which is something that Oda has hinted at on many occasions in this arc already. Regardless of what path Oda ends up taking here, fans can rest assured that they will find the truth of the matter in the next chapter, as Vegapunk does not have that long left. Either Vegapunk dies in One Piece Chapter 1109, or he will end up surviving after revealing major information pertaining to the truth of the world government. His fate will finally kick-start the final phase of this arc, which will then focus on the escape from Egghead. If Vegapunk dies, then the Straw Hats will have failed their primary mission. However, they will still be able to save Vegapunk through either Punk Records or through the other satellite bodies. If Vegapunk survives, then the goal would be to evacuate with his body, try to treat him as soon as possible, and attempt to save his life while escaping Egghead. And in other news, One Piece. Is Luffy's Gear 5 the strongest ability on Egghead? With Chapter 1108 of One Piece, series creator Eiichiro Oda has issued a terrifying declaration of the true power held by an Emperor of the Sea. Upon witnessing Admiral Kizaru seemingly kill Dr. Vegapunk, it appears as if the Straw Hat Pirates captain, Monkey D. Luffy, is now ready to go all out in order to make him and Saint J. Garcia Saturn pay for their misdeeds. After assuming his giant Gear 5 form, Luffy held both Saturn and Kizaru back while calmly inquiring whether they thought he would ever let them escape unscathed. With a malicious glint in his eye, Luffy might be ready to cut loose and show off the real strength of a Yonko in One Piece, which raises one pertinent question about how the outcome of this battle will be decided. Given that Luffy is now holding back two of the strongest people on Egghead, is the Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika's Gear 5 form, the most powerful ability on the island? Who are the main players on the Egghead? The escalating situation on Egghead Island features a number of extremely powerful combatants with their own agendas, who are vying to gain control of the conflict and achieve their objectives. It has been said that the outcome of this battle will rock the world to its core, but the actual connotations held by this statement are not entirely clear at the moment. On one hand, the Straw Hat Pirates are attempting to escape with Dr. Vegapunk, his satellites, Jewelry Bonnie, and the body of Bartholomew Kuma. Standing in their way are dozens of marine battleships, supported by the Vice Admirals, with Admiral Kizaru and Saint J. Garcia Saturn, one of the 5 elders, assuming command of this invading force. Additional players include the reformed giant warrior pirates, who are supporting the Straw Hats' escape by protecting them and stalling the Marines' advance. Lastly, a faction of the Blackbird Pirates led by Van Augur and Katarina Devon have also arrived on the island, but their goals have not been revealed. The greatest threat to the Straw Hats' escape. In such tense circumstances, the tide of the battle could swing in either direction, and it is anyone's guess as to who will emerge with the upper hand as things heat up even further. Currently, Saturn and Kizaru appear to be the greatest obstacle to the Straw Hats' escape, especially since Jewelry Bonnie was able to dispel the threat of the Buster Call on Egghead with the help of the Mark III Pacifista, who she now commands. After his initial transformation, which resembled the awakened state of a mythical Zoan devil fruit, Saturn has taken on an even more inhuman appearance, entering a new, more deadly form. True to his demonic spider-like abilities, Saturn's entire body is also coated in corrosive venom, and coming into contact with him effectively means certain death. Saturn is unlikely to let the Straw Hats off easily, since they have seen his demonic transformation, and defeating him will not be easy because of his regenerative abilities. How Gear 5 gives Luffy an edge. Ever since its first appearance during Luffy's final face-off against Kaido on the rooftop of Onigashima, it has been hinted that Gear 5 is an ability that could truly change the world and give its user the power to stand up to the world government. Luffy is still growing accustomed to his devil fruit awakening and its limits, especially when looking at the incredible strain it puts on his body when used for long periods. Nevertheless, Gear 5 is essentially a form fueled by the power of Luffy's imagination, and at its most fundamental level, it allows him to alter the fabric of reality as he sees fit. For the most part, Luffy uses it to seamlessly switch between the various abilities he unlocks in his other Gear 2, Gear 3, and Gear 4 forms, without any repercussions or delays in moving between them. One of the most devastating applications of the form is his Gomu Gomu no Gigant state, where he enlarges his body to the size of an actual giant. This is second only to the island-destroying Gomu Gomu no Budgerang gun attack which defeated Kaido, where Luffy enlarged his fist to the size of Onigashima and delivered a terrifyingly powerful punch coated in advanced armament haki and infused with Conqueror's haki. Unfortunately, the execution of this attack is not really feasible on Egghead, due to how much collateral damage it would cause. This consideration could also be the root cause of why Luffy has not been able to conclude the Egghead battle in quicker fashion. Could Luffy beat both Saturn and Kizaru? With so many of his allies and crew members scattered across the various layers of Egghead, Luffy cannot conceivably fight with complete freedom, due to how it will endanger them and wreck the infrastructure on the island. Fortunately, with Bonnie, Kuma, Frankie, and Atlas out of harm's way, and Sanji en route to join them with a dying Vegapunk, Luffy now has a little more breathing room to expand the range and intensity of his attacks. Among the two opponents he now faces, Kizaru appears to be the more subdued one, since he is likely racked with guilt at potentially being the one responsible for Vegapunk's demise. Hence, it might be safe to assume that he is not too much of a threat compared to Saturn. Even if Luffy can outmatch Saturn in terms of combat ability and strategic acumen, he still has to contend with the latter's regeneration. This is a tricky proposition for Luffy, as his fighting style is mainly focused on exerting brute force to beat opponents into submission. As a result, it may take some external intervention for Luffy to actually beat Saturn, even if he is forcing the Gorosei onto the back foot. While the strength of an emperor is quite clearly above an admiral and perhaps even the five elders, it remains to be seen whether Luffy will emerge unscathed from the circumstances he finds himself in, despite clearly having the upper hand. Rest assured, the Egghead incident is now approaching the height of its climax, and the conclusion will almost certainly change the world of One Piece forever. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.